I too have proudly represented the ladies and gentlemen from the 88th District for the last 10 years, and prior to that was my predecessors for as long back as I can remember, also represented the folks from the 88th District. That is home to me. My family grew up in the Green Bay area. We had literally nothing. We had 6 people living in a little tiny house with a single bathroom, and Mom would make a gallon of powdered milk and mix it with regular milk so we wouldn't taste the chalk. And that's how we started. And we took a crazy leap and started a company, and we hired one person. And then we said, well, maybe we can hire another person. And now those companies, there's several of those companies with over 500 employees paying millions of dollars in taxes, millions of dollars in wages, creating actual, real jobs right there in the community that I am proud to serve. I have served on 3 Old Main Street committees, Mr. Speaker. I have served on the church board. My kids, who are now in their 40s, graduated from the high school in my district, and through just plain old punitive meanness, the governor has carved me out of my district by 581 feet. Even as it is, the 88th District has been gutted. 57% of the people that I would have been representing for the last 10 years, all of those meetings that I went to, all of those promises that I made are now gone. But that wasn't good enough. They had to move the line by 581 feet and put me in a completely different district, of which fully 77% of the people that I've represented have been disenfranchised. And Mr. Speaker, as you know, that's one of the tenets of redistricting, is the percentage of disenfranchisement. Now, I want to correct or amend my esteemed leader from the 63rd District, because he keeps saying 99%. The reality is it's 99.93%. Literally 0.75% difference. Now let's put that into perspective. We have 6 million people. 46,000 would be changed with the minor tweaks that we're talking about to allow me to not have to sell my home and to continue to represent the people of the 88th District. If you back that off by a few zeros, that's if we had 600 people and 5 people are now represented by different people. That's how small these changes are. It's not 99%, it's 99.93%. And somehow or another, that's the gerrymandering. It's not moving me out of my district by 581 feet or my colleague by 15 feet. That's not the gerrymandering. Or my colleague here by literally running a little line down her district to grab her and move her out and then build all the way around that. Where is the press talking about the magnitude of gerrymandering that went on with these crazy maps? And yet, Mr. Speaker, we still think we have the right message for the people of the state of Wisconsin, that we will let the chips fall where they may, and we are looking for a fair fight. And we think with these maps, we can have a fair fight and let the people of Wisconsin speak. And yet the gentlewoman from the 66th, for some reason, still doesn't find that acceptable. For some reason, and I don't understand why she's leading the organization if she's that poor of a leader, that has had, LTSB has given them technology data weeks ago for them to be doing this discussion and this analysis. They should be taking a look at all of these things by now, and for some reason, they're not ready. We didn't set the time, as the speaker has said. We didn't set the time. We're reacting by what we've gotten. And in business, sometimes that's hard. Sometimes you have to make a decision. Sometimes you have to say, we're going to go right, we're going to go left, and you don't have the opportunity to sit and belabor it for months and weeks at a time. But we didn't set those protocols, Mr. Speaker. I absolutely believe, because I know some of the colleagues on the other side of the aisle, I know their heart. I know they too want a fair fight. I don't want to fight somebody with one hand tied behind their back. I don't want to take advantage of somebody less able. I think there's folks on the other side of the aisle that believe like I do. Like it says when it talks about the church in Laodicea, let your yes be yes and your no be no, because if you're just lukewarm, I will spit you out. And there are colleagues on the other side that know that that's true, that they want a fair fight, that they let their yes be yes. And when they say, we want fair maps, this is about as fair as you can possibly get. But some of their leadership is not really looking for fair. So, Mr. Speaker, it's my hope that we get at least some of my colleagues from the other side who don't want to win by cheating, that they want to win by honest and fair fights. And come heck or high water, either with these amendments or not, I will be continuing to run for the folks in the 88th, continuing to represent and do whatever I have to do to run for the folks in the 88th district. And so again, Mr. Speaker, these kinds of changes by moving me 581 feet, it's silly. It's punitive, and it doesn't matter, because for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. You go ahead and move me, it's okay. My wife, I was just married a year ago. We're looking for a different house anyway, a house that we can call our own. So for me to move is not a very big an inconvenience at all. So they've accomplished nothing. They give me nothing by allowing this. One way or the other, we will be running in the 88th. And so, Mr. Speaker, it's my hope that they too want a fair fight and that we'll get some green from the other side of the aisle.